Hey folks, well last night was the final performance show of the season and that makes me really upset. I don't know what in the world I'm going to do with the next 8 months of my life. I'll probably figure out something. They started off the show with Adam and Kris at their initial audition saying cheesy lines like, I'm a superstar in the making. And I kind of get what Simon said about Kris not having any confidence at the beginning of the season because he didn't seem as enthusiastic as Adam. He said, I'm the voice in the crowd that needs to be heard. Poor thing. Adam said, I am the next American Idol. Kris said, I am the next American Idol. He wasn't as enthusiastic as Adam, but he still might win. What did y'all think about Randy Jackson's suit? Wasn't that a hot mess? With that ill-fitting jacket that looked like it was trying to ride up the back of his head, and a polka-dotted tie, and the plaid shirt that looked like a tablecloth at a picnic. That was horrible. He looked awful. Carrie Dioguardi, she looked like Carrie Dioguardi. Paula looked like she just crawled out of the bed and forgot to do her hair and makeup. And Simon was wearing buttons. Anyway, the first song was their favorite song from the season. In other words, the song that they think most people are going to like the best. Adam lost the coin toss, so he was the first one out singing Mad World again. Adam's parents said he screamed for the first 18 months of his life. Well, some things just don't ever change, do they? He's still screaming to this day. I thought it was a good song choice for him because it's one of the few songs that he didn't scream and screech throughout. But for the first few seconds of his performance, he was just covered in that fake fog. You couldn't even see him until he started getting into the song. But I figured he was going to keep his screaming to a minimum last night, and he did. And I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was better than the first time that he did that song because the first time he did it, the lighting was so bad, he just looked like a blue silhouette. So you could actually see him this time, and I liked what he was wearing with the long coat and stuff. Randy gave him an A+. Kara said, you rocked it again tonight. Paula said you gave the theatrical taste of what we're going to be able to see, and Simon criticized him for being too theatrical. He said it was like Phantom of the Opera. Wait a minute, Simon Cowell, aren't you the one that said that you said a few weeks ago that criticizing Adam for being too theatrical is like criticizing a cow for mooing? Didn't you say that? I think you did. I thought that was great. I thought Adam did great. Next was Kris singing Ain't No Sunshine again. Kris didn't like to sing in front of people when he was a child, so his parents used to give him quarters to sing for them. But now he gives his mom coupons, rain checks, I don't know what you would call them, singing coupons? What, for gifts? A gift? Come on, Kris. When your mama wants, that's your mama. When she wants you to sing, you sing for that woman. And go buy her a real gift. Come on now. He sang the song at the piano. It was a lot less dramatic. It was complete polar opposite to Adam Lambert. And I thought it was better than the first time. I loved it. I thought it was great. Randy said, okay, so check this out. The funny thing about you, and then blah, 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 whatever else he says. And then he said, it's one of Kris's best performances ever. And I agree with that. Kara said, I got to agree with Randy. Big surprise there. Didn't I say last week she was like Randy Jackson's long-winded little parrot? She always says the same thing he does. It just takes her 10 minutes to say it. She says, if you can't feel a Kris Allen performance and he doesn't move you, there's something wrong with you. And if I can't speak, there's something wrong with me. And for some reason tonight, my words are just running together like Paula Abdul. Paula said you have a unique way of Allenizing your trademark on every song you sing. Simon said that last week he wasn't sure that America had made the right choice, but he takes all that back and he thinks that Kris won round one. I think it was a toss-up round one, if you're judging just on their performances. Next round, songs picked by Simon Fuller. I hate that. I think they should have let him pick their own songs for round two. Simon Fuller, I mean, he created the show? I mean, why did he pick these old songs for them? I would have rather heard something different. But the first was Adam singing A Change Is Gonna Come. It was really good. I liked the first half better than the second half, which I wasn't too fond of when he got into the screaming and stuff. But it was still really good. Randy said, I've been saying this since day one. You can sing your face off. Yes, you have been saying that since day one, Randy. And now you can stop. The season's over. We don't have to hear you say it anymore. That's one of them things I'm tired of hearing this season. That, and what are some words I'm sick of hearing? Pitchy. Of course, he's been saying pitchy for years. Bluesy and clumsy and Carrie Dioguardi. Kara said that's your winning combination, using both sides of yourself. Was that a gay crack, Carrie Dioguardi? How dare you? Using both sides. Okay, I'm just being silly now. I know, obviously, that's not what she meant. Paula said, as she stood up and flailed around, that's the best I've ever heard you sing, ever, ever, ever. And then she said, I know with every fiber of my being that you were going to be iconic. Simon said that Adam was 100% back in the game. And so, who thought that song was like a gay choice, though? Change is gonna come, and I thought it was kind of trying to feed into this theory that a lot of people online have, that it's gay versus God season, and that the Christians are going to vote for Kris, and that the gays are going to go vote for Adam. Well, I'm gay and I voted for Kris. But, and I know a lot of gay guys that voted for Kris, and I know a lot of Christians that voted for Adam. So I believe this is a whole bunch of made up Bill O'Reilly nonsense. Next was Kris Allen singing What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. It was a nice little acoustic guitar version of the song. I thought it was pretty good, but I wouldn't have chose that song. Of course, I wouldn't have chose the song that Adam sang either. He was really good. He was good, almost as good as Adam was. I think he did about the best he could do with that song. Randy said it was a little light for him. What did you want him to come out there with a fog machine and a trench coat? Kara said that she liked that Simon Fuller picked a socially conscious song for him because he can deliver that message. And Paula slurred out, "I know what's going on. You tore that song up and you made Marvin Gaye proud." Marvin Gaye's dead, Paula. He's not proud, he's dead. Simon said it was like three friends in their bedroom strumming along to Marvin Gaye. And Simon called round 2 1,000,000% Adam. Next was the winner's single, No Boundaries, written in part by Dioguardi. Let me first say to Kara, put your pen and paper down and don't ever write another song again. That was horrible. I mean, we've had some bad winter singles before, but that was a horrible, horrible song. I hated it. And they couldn't even sing it that well, neither one of them. It was like, a lot of people online are thinking it was written with Danny Gokey in mind, and it sounded like something Danny could have sang. I don't think it was written with anybody in mind. I think it was just a mess of a song. I thought it was awful. Who's going to go out and buy that? I don't know anybody that's going to go out and buy it. And everybody I've seen online said it was a horrible, horrible song. Twitter was just going crazy with people saying that. Adam was first, and he was horrible. It was pitchy all throughout, and it was just awful. It was his worst performance of the season. Randy said, "You can sing the phone book, but that was just all right for me." Kara said, "Thank you for giving me that moment." And Adam said, "Thank you for giving me that song. It was beautiful." He said that with a straight face? Come on, Adam Lambert. Cut out the lies. And then Paula gave her typical end of the season, "I'm so proud of you" nonsense that she does every year. And Simon said, "I'm not going to judge that song. I'm going to judge you." And genuinely believes that Adam's going to be a worldwide star. Well, of course he's not going to judge that song. That's you had to feel a little bit bad for Carol when all the judges were like, "Well, I'm not going to judge the song. I'm going to judge you over," because it was a horrible song. She even looked embarrassed, as she should be. And last was Kris singing the dreadful No Boundaries song. He was just as bad as Adam was, if not worse. Kris flubbed on the lyrics. Did y'all notice, though, that the lyrics were on a screen behind the judges? So and they didn't even know the song, they were reading it. How can you flub the lyrics, Kris, and you were reading the song? So they didn't learn the song, and they were both horrible at it. Both about equally as horrible. Kara said, Randy said he thinks the song fits Kris better than Adam. I don't think it fits anyone. Kara said, "Kris, I don't want you to be judged on that song." Yeah, right, Kara Dioguardi. You don't want you to be judged on that song. That's how bad it was. I'm gonna quit talking about that horrible song now. Paula gave another proud of you nonsense statement that she always does. And Simon said that Kris thoroughly deserved to be standing on that stage. And I agree with that. Choking on my own saliva. Now my eyes is tearing up and everything, guys. I'm not crying. I swear. I almost feel bad for the winner, though, having to sing that terrible, terrible song and release it as a single, as their first single. And it's going to flop no matter who releases it. Kris said him and Adam aren't competing against each other. They were just coming out to give a good show. And last of the night was Carrie Underwood coming out to sing Home Sweet Home as we look back at highlights throughout the season. So, anyway, the show is scheduled to go over tomorrow, so set your DVRs accordingly. No surprise, they've gone over every night this season, haven't they? Normally, though, going last is a benefit, be it the pimp spot that Adam always seems to get. But I don't know if going last benefited Kris this time because the song was just so horrible. I think it would have been better with Kris going first. I still predict Kris is the winner, but it is going to be a squeaker. They are so close. If you look on dialidol.com, which has been wrong all season, so I don't really go by that, it's got Kris just barely ahead. It's about the closest it's ever been for a finale. But I think that website's kind of obsolete this year. It's kind of pointless because it doesn't count text messages, and texting has just boomed in the past since last season. So it's just exploded, And so a lot of people are texting their votes, and it's not counting that. So that's why we're seeing all these record numbers of votes, because of the texting, and it's easier to text a vote than it is to call one in. And so I think that's why the vote totals are so high, even though the ratings or whatever, less people are watching the show and more votes are coming through. So anyway, I still predict Kris the winner, but it might be Adam. I won't be upset either way. I'll be disappointed if it's not Kris, but I'm not going to be upset if it's Adam. So anyways, I'll see you folks tomorrow. I'm about to choke up again. I'm not crying. I feel like crying because the season's almost over. But I'm still going to do a few more videos. I got to do the best and worst of the season, looking back at the season. Like I said I was going to do the other day, but I hadn't done it yet. But I will. So I'll see you folks tomorrow, or tonight. Okay, bye.